All right, here we go. Getting you set for Kentucky Oaks, number 152. That comes up on Friday, May the 1st. And there might be a little bit of moisture on the track, but I don't think it's going to matter at all. We finally got our post positions. We had a horse that had to be removed from the field, and so somebody else draws in. So we're going to update you on all of that, and then we'll get down to the nuts and bolts of handicapping the race and picking our winner. You only get one. You only get one. You only get one. Here we go. All right. Taking a look at our post positions. Explorer to the inside, Zany right there, Search Party, Counting Stars, Meaning, My Miss Mo, Dazzling Dame, Bottle of Rouge is out. Always a Runner right there, Prom Queen right there, Percy's Bar, Bella Ballerina, Pashmina, Brooklyn Blonde, and then Lovely Gray is going to be the first one that's going to draw in because Bottle of Rouge is out. And so that's what the field looks like with the changes right now. And with that, we take a look at Lovely Gray. This is what she does. She is a deep closer, and she's been running primarily on the turf and the synthetic. She had her debut over a sloppy dirt track at Horseshoe, Indianapolis, and so that did not go well for her. But then she started to stretch out and do whatever on the turf and synthetic, and she's a closer. She's just not that consistent. But she gets into the race, and she'll try and do something, something other than just get in the way. She'll try and do something. Let's take a look. From the outside, Bella Ballerina has some speed. You know, Brooklyn Blonde, I think, has a little bit of speed. I think she just wants to be forwardly placed. I don't think she's, she might be quick enough to go with, but I think she wants to kind of just be in the first flight, but not on the lead. But that's enough, right? You guys know how pace works. It's enough. You just need horses to be up there close, and we'll see if that can push the pace at all. So those two, I think, have some speed. Pashmina definitely has some speed. Dazzling Dame with Luis Saez is dangerous. They'll be in that first flight for sure. Pashmina, I think, wants to be forwardly placed as well, and you can see when she wasn't, she's not successful. Right? In the Silver Bullet Day and the Sunland Park situation, if she's not up there, she's not successful. So they're going to want to get position with her. And that's important. And then you talk about pure speed. My Miss Mo, I think, is much better served being up close, like she was in the Gulfstream Park Oaks, trying to make some things happen on that particular day. These are runners that I don't think they can steal it at all, but all she has is early speed to rely on, and she really has to use that. Explorer, same thing. We weren't sure about her health and if she's going to be ready to go, but Bob says she's good to go. We know she's got speed. We know she likes to win and likes to fight. So, and she's on the inside. So she's kind of got to go from that number one spot. So when you put these things together, and we have to remember, it's still a race. Yes, it's an important race, but there's nothing different about the race except for the fact that they only get one shot at it. But it's still just a race. So handicap the race according to pace and class and distance and all that whatnot. And so when I do that, I come up with three runners that I think are top preferences for me. I am not sure if they're guaranteed to win, but they're just the horses that I like. And so that's what we're here for. Talk about what we like. If you don't like my horses, that's cool. Tell me who you do like. But please don't come here and just be a negative schlep rock. Those horses will never win. I don't give a damn. Tell me what you think will win. Don't disparage my stuff. We're here to have a conversation. What do you think will win? Tell me that. I like these three horses. Prom Queen, I think she's a stalker. Always a Runner, I think is a deep closer. She doesn't have a whole lot of experience, but man, is she talented. And Zany, I think, is actually the best horse. Meaning has had some good races, but I really think Zany is the best 3-year-old filly thus far. Now let's take a look at what they do as individuals. Prom Queen. So I think that she has really performed great in those 3 route races. She can stalk the pace. And I think that's what she wants to do. Is just stalk just off of it and then pick it up after that. And she can totally do that. And she's got everything she needs. And she'll be great value for us as well if we decide to make her the top pick. And then there's the runner with very minimal experience, but man, has she got a nice closing kick. Always a runner, daughter of gun runner, and those horses get better as they get older. She has the best closing kick and got a great jockey, and she's already scored at the distance of 1.125 miles. That's huge as well. So that gives her, I think, a bit of an advantage. And then there's the horse that really has never done anything wrong. And here's the thing about this. Zany is a really talented 3-year-old filly. And that debut going 6.5, she did her job, right? Then she goes 1.125 in the Demoiselle, did her job again. Then she goes 1.40 in the Suncoast, and she did her job. Then she goes to the Grade 1 Ashland, and she did her job. Only thing that changed there was traffic. And you can go back and look at the comments from Irad Ortiz. He's like, I was in the right spot, and Percy's bar cut the corner and ducked down to the inside, and Irad had to go around. And that was the difference. Now, that could also be the difference in the Oaks, of course. But I don't think that's going to be a problem this time around. I think Irad's going to have Zany in a spot, and they're going to do what they do. We'll see if it works out for them. So Irad's going to be on Zany. And I also think that she's just been the most consistent, if you look at what she's done in her 4 starts. And with that, drum roll, please. Top pick in the Kentucky Oaks, Jose Ortiz with the number 9, always a runner, because she is a runner. Not a lot of experience, but I just love the way she's handled 2 turns in her performances, and she's got a great kick, and I think Jose, how do I explain this? I actually think, and the numbers won't back me up, but we're handicappers, and what we do is very subjective, not objective. It's subjective. Of course, the objective is to win, but we see things in different ways all the time. I think Jose is a better rider than Irad. There, I said it. What you gonna do? I just think that he is, because here's the thing. I don't know why Irad seems to get more opportunities than Jose, but if you watch Jose on the front end, man, that dude is dangerous. And I just feel like he's better on closers than Irad. Irad's just an incredible rider. And I think Irad might have they're both pretty risky. Right? They both do things. Irad does things that are a bit more aggressive. He's more of a Paco Lopez kind of rider, where he does things, and you're like, dude, what are you doing? And you just get better value on Jose. And that's what we're always trying to do, right? We're trying to get value. Value. So I think Jose represents value. So I love it. Always a runner in the Kentucky Oaks with Jose Ortiz. Full effort in the Kentucky Derby with Tyler Gaffalione. That's it. I'll be back to talk more about the really hard part of lining up your exotics behind your picks. I really think it's important that you pick one horse and then everything is keyed off of that, because if you don't do that, you're going to get to spending way too much money. That's not what we're trying to do. We're not trying to buy pick 4s. We're trying to hit pick 4s. There's a difference, right? That's how we do it here on Horse Race Bets. In the meantime, in between time, and until next time, we'll see you here. I am Ken Rudulph. Good luck and enjoy whatever you're into. When we continue our discussion, it'll be about our Kentucky Derby Exacta, Trifecta, and Superfecta coming up next. We'll see you then.